Good morning and welcome to the Idea Ladies here at the Passionate Home. My name is Carrie.
I'm Janine.
And today we are going to answer some of your frequently asked questions about Sloan chalk paint. Mm-hmm. So Candace is also here behind the camera.
Good morning. Good morning. And we have Kathleen and Yoshimi. Oh, I'm saying it wrong. Good morning. Gil, lots of people starting already.
Oh, yay.
Skipper.
Well, welcome everyone. Now I feel a little nervous. Yeah, it's just my mom. No, I'm just kidding. So we're here every Friday morning at 9:30, bringing you ideas and inspiration on how to create a beautiful life. August, we celebrate Inspiration Month. So we thought today we would sit down and answer some of your frequently asked questions about chalk paint. And if you are watching live and you have a question, please type it in and Candace will read it and they will put us on the spot.
Yeah.
Jatena
Handicraft says hi. Twisted Sisters is on. My BC is on.
Good morning. Oh, wow. So let's just dive right into it because we're going to be here about 20 minutes and we hope to answer as many questions as possible.
Right.
If you're watching this later, also if you have questions, just put them in the comments and we will answer them for you as well.
So chalk paint comes in two sizes. That's a frequently asked question. So you can have the liter or the 4 ounce. This is enough to do about 140 square feet, and this is about a small chair, a small project. So get this one because this one has 10% off this one.
But also, if you're going to do lots of projects, like price per scoop or whatever, this one is $49.95,
right?
And it's less money than buying the small.
Yeah, this is 8 times more paint than this,
mm-hmm.
and this is $16, right?
So the paint comes in 2 sizes. There'll be questions after.
There will be, but we have a hello from Edmonton, so that's fun. Good morning, Maggie.
Auntie Helen? I'm just kidding.
Maggie Deborah.
Oh, good morning. Thank you. I think what we're due for the people who are watching is let's give away a prize at the end. Will you remind us, Candace?
I'll remind you.
As we do every Friday.
Can I win?
No. Okay. The wax. It's a 2-step process. You paint and you wax, and the wax comes in 3 sizes. It comes in a great big. Is it 4 liters?
It's like a pail.
It's a huge pail for those like us. This is the most common size. The wax, there's 4 waxes. They all come in this size here or this little guy here. Now, when you paint a project, 99.9% of the time, you're going to clear wax first.
Yes.
So if you're a little nervous about what to get, always get the bigger clear, and then maybe you want to try a smaller black or brown, or just go all out and get this size, because again, this is better cost.
Better value.
Right? Mm-hmm. Better value.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we do have a question.
Okay.
So what is involved in maintaining your piece, whether it's on fabric or wood or whatever you're painting on, and cleaning?
Okay, may I start with this?
Please.
So now that you've painted your piece, treating a painted fabric and painting wood is different. They're different substrates to start with.
Yeah.
So now that you've painted your wood piece, you need to treat it finely. So no harsh chemicals. You want to clean it with just like a damp rag.
Mild soap, right? Maybe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And fabric, it's different if you've waxed it or you haven't waxed it, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know what you would do to maintain painted fabric. No, just it's now.
Yeah.
I think you can always add a little bit more wax too, right? To any wood or fabric.
Yeah. If it starts to look a little bit more,
it'll just bring the beauty back up, right?
Actually, that is true. That's one of the things I love about the wax is that you can re-wax and just bring it back to life right away.
Totally.
So we hope that answers your question. Yes. Okay. How much chalk paint do you need for a project? So.
Okay. Well, we kind of slowly talk.
I know.
So this is good for a small project, right? So maybe a small chair, a little side table, like one of those little pedestal tables, or for mixing, these are great. So if I wanted to lighten this blue, can add some into a white, maybe add it into a different container, because you're definitely not going to need all of this for like a small dresser or something, right? This one's good for, I said, about 140 square feet. Annie says a small dresser, but I have gotten it like
way more.
Like I don't know. Like, I think if I was going to paint a dresser, I might use this much, right? Like,
with the can, when I tell people, I actually say generally you can get like a dresser and 2 side tables with a full, unless you're going white.
It depends on how they paint as well, because if you're adding water, it's going further.
That's true.
If you're putting it on really thick and textured, it's not going as far, and you're going to use more paint. So the key, one beautiful thing about this paint is it has incredible coverage.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
So Maggie asks, how do I maintain painted bar stool from cracking? So I guess I'm not understanding, is it chalk painted would be the question.
Yeah.
And because it shouldn't, I don't understand why it would be cracking. Unless
it was. What does she mean by cracking?
Yeah.
Is it after she's painted it, did the paint all crack really cool, which is the varnish underneath?
Yes.
Or is she saying that the paint itself is cracking? So
more questions.
We try to answer your questions as best as we can, but there's a lot of questions we need to ask you.
Totally.
So we totally understand what you're saying, so we can give you the best information possible. Yeah. A lot of people ask us, do you need special tools to use Sloan chalk paint?
You don't, but a nice quality paintbrush is good, right? So this is a natural bristle brush. This is a beautiful brush. It will help promote one coat coverage, but it just holds a lot of paint. You don't have to keep loading all the time. You can get a lot of texture with this brush.
Yeah.
This is going to last you a really long time if you take care of it. So just a mild detergent, hang it to dry, warm soapy water, right? Same with your wax brushes. You can just really warm soapy water. Blue Dawn dish soap is always our go-to. And then just stand it. So you don't want the ferrule to rust.
Right.
Yeah. You can use, like Annie's got what do you call it?
Flat.
Yeah, like a flat brush. And you can get a very smooth finish with this as well. And when we paint for a smooth finish, we're doing it more straight up and down. But there's a lot of brushes like this if you've got a favorite brush, right?
Yeah.
Your go-to. You don't need
When people come in and ask me that question, I say, if you have a favorite brush you love, use it. But if you don't, these are amazing. Yeah. And like anything, having the proper tools makes a difference to the end result.
It does.
Crappy brush, crappy finish.
Wax brush, I feel like, is a must. Like, you're just going to use way less wax. This should cover about 3 or 4 cans of chalk paint, so this is going to last you a long time. But if you're using a rag, you're going to lose a lot of wax in your rag, about 30%. They say
about 30%,
right? Yeah. So this just holds the wax where you need it. It makes life easy.
It gets in all the little cracks.
Yeah.
So I guess definitely when people say, do I need a wax brush? I would say yes, especially the details. It just gives you a better finish.
Right?
Good?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you need to sand or prime?
Well, no sanding, no priming on almost every surface, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Just give it a nice clean, something mild. If you're going to use something a little, like if it's fairly greasy or really dirty, like a biodegradable cleaner, and then rinse it really well with warm water and let it completely dry.
Now, if your finish that you're painting over is already chippy and falling apart, like when we say no sanding or priming, there are, do get rid of the chippiness. Otherwise, the chalk paint will stick to those chips and
they're gonna fall on,
right? The same goes for, actually, let's skip ahead to another common question is about, can you paint metal?
Yes.
And yes, you can, but if it's been out in the garden and it's all rusty, do clean the rust off and seal that if you don't want it to keep coming through.
Yeah.
But you could paint something like cast iron.
Yeah. A little spray shellac will help block that rust in, right? But you know what? I love it when the rust comes through. I don't know. That's just me.
Okay. Can you wet and dry distress paint?
Yes. So we like to kind of distress before we wax. Annie sometimes says it's easier after you wax, but then you're going to re-wax. I don't think you can wet distress after you wax.
No, you cannot.
So Annie Sloan sanding pads are perfect. You can use these wet or dry. There's
Anna.
3 different grips in here. You can cut them apart. We usually cut them into about 4. So there's fine, medium, and coarse.
Yeah.
So they're really great for getting in all the details. They're flexible. You can wash them after.
What I love about them is they're flexible. So when you're sanding something that's rounded, when you're sanding with a block and you're doing something rounded, you get that straight line, which doesn't look natural.
No.
Whereas this will wrap around and really give you a beautiful natural finish.
A lot of people ask how to distress. So I think a good starting point is just any hard edges, anywhere it would naturally kind of wear.
Yes.
So I I think that looks most natural. Like, I'm not gonna sand in the middle of my tabletop because then it doesn't look natural, right?
Right. The feet.
Okay, so another question with the wax. So I once used way too much wax and the piece wasn't smooth, but it's cured. Would I just re-wax it now years later? I want it to feel smooth.
Well, is it the paint underneath that doesn't feel smooth, or is the wax sticky? Is that what they're meaning?
Yeah.
So I would clarify exactly before I told you what to do, because sometimes when people say it's not smooth, it's because the paint finish underneath is rough.
Right?
But
if it's leaving fingerprints and that
then
kind of
that's
stuff, right?
the stickiness of the wax.
So wax sticky,
The wax
that's what
is
they're
sticky?
saying.
Okay, so yes. Is it clear wax or...
Is it clear wax?
If it was clear wax.
If it was clear wax,
Yeah.
I would absolutely reactivate the wax with a little bit more and then remove it.
Yeah.
Right? So kind of repeat what you did, but don't put so much on.
And that's the thing, right? When you don't remove enough wax and that's why we say wax on, wax off, because
everyone knows the movie.
you don't
That's how I
want
try
that
to tell
sticky.
people.
Right away. Have a good stack of lint-free rags or blue shop towels work really well, and just you're going through them. Like, I'm using quite a few to remove my wax also.
Yeah.
So good rags to use, lint-free for buffing, are things like old pillowcases or T-shirts and that sort of thing, or just ripped up sheets, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you use chalk paint as a chalkboard? This is a question. They come, I use chalkboard paint.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is not chalkboard paint, but you can make a chalkboard out of it, but that's not the beauty of it.
Right. I mean, you definitely can, and we have, and we love them, and they're pretty.
Yeah.
And then you can have all different colors. But.
Well, yeah, for a wedding, I think a lady made a pink chalkboard.
Right.
So when you're making a chalkboard, you don't want to wax for sure.
No, definitely.
But if you want to make a chalkboard, come in and we'll kind of step you through how to do that. But that's not the best thing about this paint, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. How are we doing time, Candace? We can be here forever.
9:44.
So good.
Oh,
okay. Janine.
Yes.
How long does it take for your... Oh yeah, don't forget we're giving something away. How long does it take something to cure?
Okay, so you're going to paint it. That's going to dry in about 20 minutes. I usually like to wait to wax till the next day. You don't have to. We rush through projects all the time. But your wax will feel dry to the touch like pretty much 3 minutes later, right? And you can use it right away, but it's not going to dry to a fully cured finish, like a hard wax finish for... This is 5 to 21 days. So, just be gentle with it. Use a tablecloth, then remove the tablecloth so your paint finish can cure naturally with the air. Just be gentle, right?
Yeah, and temperature has a lot to do with it. Some people will be in the winter when it's a little chillier, they're painting in the garage, and then they come and they say, my paint didn't stick or my wax isn't curing. Well, it's because it's too cold and damp in the garage. So there is no smell with this paint, so you can use it indoors.
Totally.
And that is really, unless it's a perfectly tempered day, you shouldn't. Now I'm telling you to paint inside, but that's not true. Don't paint in the hot sun.
Right.
Painting outside is perfect, but you can paint inside, and just consider the temperature when you're wanting it to cure.
Yeah.
Right?
Totally.
Is that good?
And it's
Awesome.
baby safe, you guys, like food safe. So
once it's
cured.
After it's cured. Yeah. So another lady asked, so now I've painted my dresser blue. Can I paint over it if I'm not happy with it once I've waxed? So now painted and waxed. Now what can I do?
Yes. Paint right over the wax with the Sloan chalk paint.
Yes.
So, I mean, the longer it's been cured, the better. If you've just done it the day before, maybe give it some time to cure, right? Or you're going to want to remove the wax somehow.
I find if I paint over it too soon, it kind of gets bubbly, and I have to continuously paint over.
Right? It's a little bit harder.
Give it a little bit of chance.
Bit of a resist. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But you definitely can. Everybody asks me that all the time, and it's like one of the beauties, because I like to change my mind, so.
No. No, you don't.
I'm like, I think I want blue, and then no, really, I
want white.
So, as people say, can you mix the colors?
Totally.
Yeah.
Actually, we've just added a color mixing workshop, which is going to be so fun. But yes, you can.
You're the first to know. It's online.
Get some paper. Try your paints. We like to finger paint. Like a dollop of this and a dollop of that will equal 1-to-1 ratio. Or you can go from there. So it's just kind of playing, experimenting. Once you know the color wheel, it's a little easier to mix colors. But honestly, just get out and experiment, right?
Can you mix the waxes?
you can mix paint into wax as well. So you guys, it's not limited. This is like a creative artist paint. You can do so many things with it. So mix your waxes, mix a little bit of paint. You know, a palette knife is your best friend. Just put it on a little paper plate, mix some in. Then you can get like a French linen colored wax over top of your white, and it's beautiful.
Yeah. Especially with white, some people say, "Oh, my white's so white. What can I do?" You could make a colored wax, or you could do a wash over top. Right. So, another huge question lately is, can you paint floors with Sloan chalk paint? Can you?
Yes, you can.
I think
yes, you can do anything. No,
almost.
You know, you can paint wood, you can paint tile, you can paint concrete. So many things. Like concrete is so porous, it's beautifully painted, right? Like, and you can stencil. You're gonna want to seal it with an Sloan lacquer, and it comes in matte and gloss. And there's different techniques to use that. You can add a little bit of water to extend your lacquer, and we'll tell you how to do that when you come in.
When you come in, we're always here to answer your questions when you have a project. But don't be afraid to ask questions.
Beautiful.
Can you use the paint outside?
Yes, you can. So you don't want to use wax outside.
I mean, I think it's something you can say no to.
Right?
Okay. So there, again, you can use the lacquer outside. It is UV protected. It's going to help protect your colors. But, I mean, the sun will fade the paint color. So, you know, we love that. It just ages beautifully.
If you don't lacquer it, you mean?
Yeah. I mean, it will, yeah, that's true. It'll fade faster without anything.
Mm-hmm. So you can use the chalk paint outside. You don't want to wax it if it's in the hot sun. You would either leave the sun to bake it in and leave it to age and over time, or seal it with the lacquer to keep it pretty. Yeah. Correct? Yes. How are we doing, Candace?
I think we're doing great. I have a question. Can you, because I've gotten this one multiple times, you'll know the answer. Can you paint your countertop?
Oh, you wanted a no question.
I wanted a no question.
So
good for you. I'm going to make it into a yes, but you will make it into a no.
It's not recommended.
Yeah, it isn't.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, it's still going to be a porous surface, and that's not food safe. Like you can't clean it enough to get, like, you know, if you're cooking chicken and then it's not really great.
Would you paint it and then seal it with something like a lacquer? Then would it work, do you think?
I think it would work. It's going to stick. It's going to look beautiful, but I still, like, I would use cutting boards for sure, and just, you know.
It is not recommended for places where there's lots of water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I threw it out there, and I love that you said, well, I could make it a yes, because actually I did paint mine.
I know.
Yeah, and some people have successfully.
Yeah, and mine was great in a bathroom, so they're not eating off of it.
Right.
But it's not recommended.
Yeah,
and I did lacquer it lots of layers.
You just have to know what to expect. Like, it may have a water stain or, like, something, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Because her paint is so creative, and that's one of the beauties of it, and she created it for people to be creative, that you can try different things.
Totally.
Right? And knowing the outcome, so if you want to put it somewhere where there's lots of water, we cannot guarantee it will stay beautiful.
Right? That's the thing. Don't put your shower.
No.
Not the tile in there.
There's a no.
That's a hard no.
That's a hard no. So one of the things to just kind of turn us into what's happening next week, can you paint your fireplace?
Yes. Yes. I've done a few.
So she has done a few. This girl here, Janine, she's done a few fireplaces. Let's not answer the question. Yes, the answer is yes.
Yes, you can.
But please join us next Friday as we're hitting the road and we're doing a field trip to Janine's house.
Woo! Okay.
And you're going to show us the fireplaces that you've done, or fireplace, and maybe a few other things that you've done with chalk paint.
Sure. There's, like, in my living room where the fireplace is, if you do a turn, there's lots and lots of things painted. So
I'm super excited about that. And then we can maybe talk about, I know we've posted it before about how you did your fireplace, but I'm sure people always have questions, and that's one of our most watched videos is Janine painting her fireplace. And all our videos that we do and all our Friday Idea Ladies are on YouTube, so you can subscribe to our channel. I've never done that. Push here. I don't know what I'm pointing at. But we do have a YouTube channel, and they're there, right?
Yeah, they are. Okay. And Candace's Creative Corner's there, and her videos are amazing.
That's true.
As well.
I don't know if you watched Candace yesterday. It's every second Thursday, but she made the most beautiful glass. She used Annie Sloan chalk paint and added a little something to it.
Yeah, can you paint glass?
Yes,
you can.
Yes, you can. So I hope we answered some questions for you. And as always, you can put them in the comments and we'll get back to you on them. And we're always here and would love to answer your questions because this is an incredible product and everyone should use it and experiment and be creative with it. So
And come save 10% off these.
oh yes, it's
That's
Inspiration Month, so you save 10% off.
Mm-hmm.
We have a special every week that we're what?
Right? This week's special.
Oh, okay.
This week's special, if you buy an Annie Sloan brush, you can have 20% off a wax brush. So any brush, any wax brush.
When does that end? On
Saturday.
Saturday. Okay.
Tomorrow.
There's a new,
Tomorrow.
Yes,
And then a new one will
another
start.
new special next week.
And
so.
if you order online tonight or tomorrow, then we'll adjust it. I don't think, like, there's a code online for paint. You can enter code inspiration, but the brushes, if you get both, we'll just adjust it on our end. So don't panic. We'll do that.
Okay. So is there anything else we wanted to mention?
We want to give something away. What are we
Oh
doing?
yeah,
Giveaway.
how should we do this?
I don't know.
I
don't even know what
Okay,
you're doing.
let's give away a reusable Annie Sloan shopper.
Oh,
it's a
yes,
bag.
they're
It says
pretty.
Annie Sloan and one of her special mixing sticks. All you need to do is be the first person watching live to answer. How many colors of wax does Annie Sloan have?
So we gotta wait for the answer, right?
Well, you got to stay live because I'm going to tell you who's the first one to answer. It's going to all of a sudden go crazy. Maggie says me. How many, Maggie?
How many? It's a little bit delayed, I know. So.
Okay.
Maggie said me. Mark said 4. The answer is 4.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, there we go. Oh, and Maggie said 3. So Mark, winner,
Mark's
winner,
the
chicken
winner.
dinner.
Thanks so much, Mark, for watching every week. We love that.
Mike said 8. What?
Well, really, it's unlimited, I guess, but you can get 4 out of the can because you can add paint.
I was actually thinking
right?
about that. It's limitless, you guys. So thank you so much for joining us and listening and sharing your questions. Like I said, we're always here to answer, and we so appreciate you taking the time with us today. And join us next Friday as we tour Janine's house.
Can't wait.
Okay, so stay safe, create a beautiful life, and we'll see you for your 10% off.
Yeah.
Take
Bye,
care.
guys.
Bye.